Welcome back to the news at 10. The National Economic Summit Group has organized labor unions in the country, and they've called on the Senate to strengthen the Bank of Industry so it can continue with its mandate of supporting Nigerian entrepreneurs. The groups were speaking at the public hearing organized by the Senate Committee on Banking on a bill for an act to establish the National Development Bank of Nigeria. While most of the participants at the hearing supported the idea of setting up a new development bank, many say it will be better to strengthen the Bank of Industry instead of scrapping it, as the bill proposes. Our correspondent Lanre Lasisi reports.
Representatives of government agencies, commercial banks, labor unions and entrepreneurs gathered in the National Assembly before the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and other financial institutions. They're here for a public hearing to discuss the proposed legislation to repeal the Bank of Industry Act, the Bank for Commerce and Industry Act, and the National Economic Reconstruction Fund Act, and establish instead the National Development Bank of Nigeria. According to the Senate, with the severe economic situation the country is in, comes the need for innovative thinking.
So it is not a time to relax or mourn, but it is a time to really think outside the box on issues that can help us come out of the pangs of this present economic predicament.
The acting managing director of the Bank of Industry said it will not be in the interest of the country to dissolve the bank, as it has, over the last 15 years, built up international reputation in the sector.
And helping the board, such that today we are rated by Fitch AA+ last year. It was affirmed this year, while those of other banks were downgraded. Moody's assigned us BA3 last year, and this year, on the strength of our balance sheet and the quality of corporate governance, they emphasize this on their website.
Other participants highlighted their particular concerns.
We would have been very happy if we see an indication of how much capitalization the bank will operate on.
And I can't align with TUC and Labour Congress and more that you retain BoI, Bank of Agric, and all the other ones. Whatever it is to make them work, let them work a while.
Some of the entrepreneurs called for the Bank of Industry to be strengthened. The observation was also made that government has to put in place the enabling environment that will allow funding of the small and medium enterprises to bear fruit. Lanre Lasisi, Channels Television News.
For the rest of the business news, let's join Melinda Akinlami.
You first. First Bank.
Thank you so much, Ijoma. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has asked commercial banks to submit bids for a special currency auction planned with importers of petrol. The CBN sent the message to banks on Monday, advising the lenders to submit a backlog of dollar demands from importers for the special intervention. The federal government reached a deal with oil firms to sell dollars directly to them in May to end months of scarcity, mainly caused by currency shortages. It is not yet clear at what rate the Apex Bank will sell the currency to them. Nigeria's electricity distribution companies are currently running at a loss because the pricing regime and collection system are faulty. And that's according to the chief operating partner at PricewaterhouseCoopers, who insists government needs to intervene, and urgently too, to avert the dangers that lie ahead.
The power business is a long-term business. Over the short run, we see a lot of the distribution companies running at a loss because their cost of business is actually higher than the revenue they generate at the moment. So on the short run, they're going to be making a loss. But if you look at over the long run and with the intervention of the government, ensuring that there are adjustments of the pricing, ensuring that the MDs pay for the power they use, we think that the business is going to be profitable. But over the short period, we may have a loss. and then of course the banks who have borrowed the money are going to be under stress, and the banks are going to be challenging these distribution companies and the generation companies to pay up. But if there's an intervention by the government in one form or the other, then the issue may be resolved, and we may avert the potential collapse that we see if this is not addressed immediately.
The equity market kicked off the week flat. The benchmark index inked up by 0.01%, and Millicent Walker tells us more. Hello and welcome to the Stock Market Report. The equities market opened on a flattish note on Monday as the benchmark index inched up by 0.01% to close at 25,743.03. This sustained the positive reaction that greeted OPEC's decision to cut output last week, pushing up the numbers. Well, investors exchanged 3.1 billion naira for 175.05 million shares and traded in over 3,000 deals. Leading the advances pack are petroleum marketing stocks, Forte Oil and Total, with more than a 10% gain each, and Oando with 7.80%. Now, on the other hand, Guinness, Red Star Express and Mansard Insurance topped the decliners table. In the meantime, financial stocks recorded saw the highest traffic in terms of the volumes traded for the day. They include Zenith Bank, Wapik Insurance and Guarantee Trust Bank. Well, that's the Stock Market Report. I'm Millicent Walker. Now let's check out what's happening on Wall Street. The stocks opened higher on Monday with the most watched index, the Dow Jones, trading at all-time highs. The world's largest stock market shook off the political referendum in Italy with the Prime Minister, Matteo Renzi, resigning. With more details is Jill Malandrino, Channels Television's correspondent in New York.
Now the attention shifts to the home stretch of 2016. Since 1950, no month sports a better average return than December, with a return of 1.6%. It is also higher 76% of the time when the S&P 500 has been up for the year heading into December, and that's what we have right now. So retailers, they're going to be the sector within focus as they may be among the biggest beneficiaries of a lower corporate tax rate in the Trump era. Barron's, one of the most widely read publications in the U.S., noted because currently they pay a high rate compared, for example, to tech companies doing much of their business overseas. TJ Stores and other chains will benefit from the struggle of department stores, while Foot Locker will gain from a shift toward more casual dress. Now, retailers such as Walmart, GameStop, American Eagle, and JCPenney, they might not benefit since they face existential stress from e-commerce. From the NASDAQ market site in Times Square, New York City, I'm Jill Malandrino for Voice of America, Channels TV Business News.
And just like Jill says, the U.S. market closed optic as Europe defied the Italian referendum, but Asia and Africa came in with mixed sentiment. These are the closing numbers. And that's Business News. Many thanks for watching. I'm Melinda Akinlami.
You first. First Bank.
Internally displaced persons in Maiduguri, northeast Nigeria, are getting more support as more organizations continue to contribute towards their welfare. The latest is coming from the Dangote Women Network, who over the weekend raised over 20 million naira through a charity walk to purchase items to keep the IDPs warm.
It was an early morning walk of members of Dangote Women Network, a group of female staff in the employ of Dangote Group of Companies.
Can I see your hands up, please?
Though it's an all-women affair, the president of Dangote Group, Alhaji Aliko Dangote, and some top male staff and partners participated in the walk. For over 1 hour, participants walked through roads and streets from Ikoyi to Lekki and back. These women who are not just doing this to keep fit, but also keep internally displaced persons warm. The charity walk is to create awareness about the plight of the internally displaced persons in the north and raise funds towards their welfare.
We don't have to wait for our bosses or for the foundation who has done literally tremendous amount of work giving back. We also want to give back ourselves. So if you earn 20,000 naira, why don't you give 1,000 naira to somebody who does not know what it feels like to have 3 square meals? We've raised over 20 million naira. This is something that is good, and everything will go to the IDPs. We're going to purchase items. So we have mosquito repellent, blankets, we have socks, we have hats, we have sweaters, because I mean in December Northeast is actually extremely cold and these guys don't even have accommodation to live in. So I mean if you have to give them something to keep themselves warm, so that's what we're focusing on.
They've raised only about 20 million for this work today, and they'll do more to raise awareness. It's not really even about raising money, it's raising awareness that look, we have 3 million of our own people out there, the IDPs, that are actually suffering, and we cannot allow them to continue to suffer.
The Dangote Women Network has the objective of growing women through workshops and trainings in career.
Mr. Tunji Adebayo has emerged winner of the Coscharis BMW Gulf Cup International Tournament. Mr. Adebayo has also qualified to represent Nigeria at the World Finals in Dubai next year. Our sports correspondent Austin Ukunakban reports.
The beautiful course at the Lakowe Lakes Golf Club hosted 56 amateur golfers shooting for the top prize. The 54-hole competition also featured ladies playing some good golf. The sponsor explains the objective for organizing the tournament.
In a nutshell, what we do from Coscharis and what BMW has done globally is to sponsor a sport that resonates perfectly with the brand pedigree, and that is why you see Coscharis sponsoring golf.
It was a keenly contested event, and for Coscharis, it is a testament that golf in Nigeria is getting competitive.
I want to appreciate them. You know, this part of social responsibility that Coscharis is doing, I want to appreciate them, and also helping to bring up young people.
Our 2016 champion, Mr. Tunji Adebayo, 79 gross.
My message for up-and-coming golfers is to keep at it. It's not an easy game, but today I was lucky. Tomorrow, maybe somebody else. But I'd like to also, once again, thank the sponsors, especially Coscharis and BMW, for putting on a great show for us today.
Coscharis is committed to support golf development in Nigeria, and hosting this competition is the gradual steps taken towards achieving that goal. Austin Okonakpan, Channels Television News.
Next on the news at 10, former FIFA President Sepp Blatter loses appeal against 6-year ban from football. That's on sports. Please stay with us.